I am Dominic Bytes. Alright, I did a little bit better with the introduction this time in terms of handling the videos and timing the live streams. I'm still juggling a few things. So, this is my second test stream. No, this will not be the normal hours that I'm streaming on Tuesdays. I will probably shoot more for an afternoon Tuesday stream, most likely, going forward. But I'm doing this here again to work out the bugs. Now, my normal games will be Minecraft, a little bit of Conan Exiles as seen yesterday. However, there is another category that I like to stream. Those of you who have seen my Rumble page, link in the description below, please click that. It's right there. Please click it. Those of you who have seen my Rumble page know that I do a thing called Byte Club Cinema. And this is where I watch various shows, comment on them live. So I have currently done Nimona, Hazbin Hotel, Cliffside, and Lackadaisy. Those are four of the shows. However, I don't just do American cartoons or internet animation. I love to do anime. Anime commentary, anime reviews are a big thing for me. And I would like to live stream that. Because if I live stream it, then you, the audience, can chat with me about the show that I'm about to see. And to me, that's a lot more fun than just watching it by myself, doing an extended monologue over it. And yeah. So, um, whew. Anyway, give me one moment here. So the way this will work is I'm going to use a format similar to the Byte Club Cinema method here. As you can see, I have my live stream set up, and as well as the screen. As usual for the um, as usual for Byte Club Cinema, I will have um, a little screener over the video to avoid copyright strikes, and this will have subtitles that you should still be able to follow along, at least on that front. So audio for the video will be muted, so there will not be no audio. That will also really help with copyright issues. But you'll see the chat, so if you have comments or questions or something like that, go along. Now, the episode I've chosen here for the first live streamed Byte Club Cinema is Fate Strange Fake. I love the Fate series. I am a huge Fate series fan. I have seen most, not all, but most of the series tied to it. I do not play Fate Grand Order. I will be very clear on that. I do watch the anime based on it, but I do not play the gacha game of Fate Grand Order. I think it's fun. I like the designs and such, but I don't play it. I do own two of the two Muso Fate, the Fate Last Encores, that are set on the moon. I do own both of those on my Switch. Those are fun. But I actually have not, sadly, not played the original Fate Stay Night game. I have, however, seen the anime. Now, alright, this is a Fate series. And one of the big controversies, anyone who's followed Giguk knows that the watch order for the Fate series is like, where do I start? Because, yeah, it's a massive franchise. It has spanned many years now at this point, almost 20 years, just with anime. Now, first thing to note, there's a 2006 series by Studio Dean and a movie. Forget them. They're trash. They're very bad. They nominally adopt the Fate arc of the video game. The original game, Fate Stay Night, has three arcs: Fate Route, Unlimited Blade Works, and Heaven's Feel. Fate Route's the most boring, and it was also adapted pretty badly in 2006. So you can skip that entirely. It's not very good. The real starting route is Fate Zero. That is based on a prequel series of light novels. It was animated spectacularly well. It is very, very well done, very well adapted. It's, I believe, a 26 episode series split into two parts. You can see it on Netflix. It is available through Netflix. Again, highly recommend. Fate Zero is the real starting point. It gives you the core concept of the series. It gives you the world, the lore. It introduces many of the main conflicts and philosophical questions. You get several of the main characters are set up. So after Fate Zero is done, you then have a choice. If you really like, there's one character in Fate Zero called Waver Velvet. if you really like him, you can watch another series called Lord El Malloy, which is set after Fate Zero but before the next main series. So you can take a little detour, watch his thing, or you can go straight to the next main series and watch those back to back. You will, and I want to make this clear, you will need to watch Lord El Malloy at some point. So you can either watch it after or between. Depends how much you really like seeing things in chronological order, but it's not necessary. So the next series, though, would be Fate Unlimited Blade Works. Again, very well adapted. It adapts the second route of the game, which is most people's favorite routes. There are some people who like Heaven's Field, but they're weird. And it adopts the second route and answers many of the questions from Fate Zero. Fate Zero sets up many philosophical questions. Fate Unlimited Blade Works answers them. It gives a very satisfying conclusion to the arcs that are started and in Fate Zero. So very well done. It's a 52 anime mega series. Split with 4 parts across 2 different series with a time skip in between. It's very grand and epic and well paced. Again, can't praise it hard enough. So Fate Zero, Lord El Malloy, Fate Unlimited Blade Works. Those are your 3 cores. Now, in addition to that, recently we have the Heaven's Feel movies. There are 3 of those. That is the alternate route from Unlimited Blade Works. So Unlimited Blade Works is one way those events could play out. Heaven's Feel is another. Heaven's Feel is also set up by Fate Zero. So that is, if you've seen Fate Zero, you're all set for Heaven's Feel. So you would watch those 3 movies afterwards. With that, all of the main series content, all the main timeline content is essentially done. Now, what then follows next is you have additional extra content. You have alternate universes. Now, one reason you want to watch Lord El Malloy is it will introduce you to several characters who were brought into the main continuity through that series, but were introduced in the alternate universe series first, technically. But having them introduced to you in Lord El Malloy first is not a bad thing. If anything, it'll make you appreciate when they pop up in the alternate universes more. So, the next one up is Fate Apocrypha. Fate Apocrypha is a spin-off timeline where history diverges after a certain point, so the Grail War becomes a little bit different. And that's the famous one. Fate Apocrypha is most well known for Astolfo. All of the Astolfo memes. Yes, everybody's favorite pink hair, who loves monster cans. Google it. Just Google it. Be warned, but Google it. Everyone who likes that, yes, Fate Apocrypha is where he comes from, and those take shape. And it's a good series. It's a good, solid series. I really enjoyed it. You get to see different aspects of the characters from their main timeline counterpart. The main thrust, one of the key mechanics of Fate is they summon heroes. And so, but what is interesting, even across different timelines, the heroes they summon will be essentially the same across multiple timelines. So, for example, in Fate Stay Night, there is King Arthur. You have aka Saber. King Arthur is summoned in both Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night. In Fate Apocrypha, you get Mordred as Saber. Mordred being King Arthur's son/daughter. So you get to see events play out from Mordred's perspective that are referenced in Fate Stay Night and Fate Zero. That fills out essentially King Arthur's arc in the main timeline, but from a different perspective and in a different timeline. But it's still character development for the character in the main timeline because those events are the same across the 2 universes. So that is a really, really neat way that Fate develops characters in other series, but in completely different timelines. And this is also why order matters. But Fate Apocrypha would be next. Then you have Fate Lost Encore, often referred to as the weakest of the series, and I tend to agree. Gorgeous looking, really, truly excellent. You have Nero Claudius Saber, who is a really fantastic character. Great opening animation. It's done by Puella Magi, the visual guy who did Madoka Magica, but story-wise, yeah, it's kind of weak. But it does fill in some things, and I still enjoy it, and I would still recommend it. Then after that, you have Fate's Last Encore is yet another alternate timeline. Then you have another alternate timeline, which is Fate Grand Order. So Grand Order is set in a different Grail War again, where basically Fate Zero didn't happen. Things played out differently, and they do kind of go in depth on that. Unfortunately, the problem with Fate Grand Order is while you have an initial first episode that sets things up, and you have the sixth and seventh story arc of the game are adapted into an anime, there's a lot missing. There's a good 5 story arcs essentially from the video game that aren't in anime form. So when you start with the Camelot arc, you're kind of being dropped in with a good chunk of the story already told. And the Camelot, I believe it's 2 movies, I want to say. So you'd watch those. Then you would watch Fate Grand Order Babylonia, the TV show. Then you would watch the movie, which is still a lot of fun, I will say, because you do get guest appearances in Grand Order from characters from the other series. By the way, that's the kind of fun part of Grand Order. It's got all of the Fate characters in there. Just here's all of them. And Babylonia is neat because it has Gilgamesh, who is from the main timeline, and you can basically get his origin story and his backstory that is vaguely referenced in Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night. So that's neat. That's still cool. And then you have Infinity Room or Moonlight Room or something, which is the conclusion. It's set after the movie of Babylonia and kind of sets up the next story arc, which they haven't adapted. So yeah, Grand Order anime is kind of a mess, and I really hope they do more and fill that in because I would like to know more of the story for that. Hey, we got Luigi in the chat. Thank you, man. Glad you stopped by. I'm going on a long rant about the Fate Stay Night universe right now and discussing the thing. I'm getting ready here to watch the Fate Strange Fake special that came out a little bit ago. I've really been wanting to do a discussion on it. But thank you for stopping by, man. Thank you. I appreciate it a ton. And I will be doing Minecraft eventually. And I will be streaming from your server, by the way, not on whitelist. I do plan to stream from a server. I'm just doing these test streams to work out the bugs first. Um, awesome. I look forward to it. Yes, anyone in chat, yeah, go follow Luigi. He's awesome. Um, he's a really good dude. But yeah, so Fate. So as you can tell from my description on here, now there are a few others. Of course, there's some minor series. There's Today in Emiya's Kitchen or something like that, which is technically in the main universe at an indeterminate time. It's just kind of a spin-off. You have the really silly tie-in, Fate Grand Carnival, which is really more just a parody series. I haven't watched that yet. I've heard it's really funny, so I might, because it's funny. I'm down for a good laugh. Seeing historical figures argue about who's the best swordsman, for example. That's like fun. I might watch that sometime. And then, of course, the most infamous Fate spinoff, Prisma Ilya. Yeah, I haven't been able to finish that because, oh boy, Prisma Ilya. It's got it's got some stuff in there. I mean, animation, gorgeous. The action scenes, really good. The story, for the most part, from what I can tell, is not too bad. And it does have the Fate characters. But good lord, the author who writes it, yeah, he's kind of into some stuff that I'm not into and makes me really uncomfortable. Real uncomfortable when I watch some of the stuff there. It gets kind of excessive on certain things. It's like, do I really need that bathing scene? Do we really need to see these two characters making out? Do we really need this? I mean, yeah, let's. Yeah, I have not been able to finish the series. It just, yeah. So if you can handle that, more power to you. I could say I've been told that the story gets really, really good as it goes on, but I definitely didn't get to that point. I noped out well before that. But yes, Prismilia does exist. I don't include it in the watch order at all, or with a big old like be warned type flag on there. But yeah. So just yeah. But yes. So but the point is now. So Fate Strange Fake. All right. Where does this one fit in? Now, when I went in, I've already seen this episode, but that allows me, in this case, reacting to it on the fly wouldn't be as good. Doing commentary, I think, for this is better because, oh boy, this thing moves fast. Now, Fate Strange Fate fits in. It is when I went in expecting this to be an alternate timeline. I thought this was going to be yet another spin-off. It is not. This is actually the third mainline series title. So this is set after, as far as I can tell, Unlimited Blade Works. So you have Fate Zero, Lord El Malloy, Fate Unlimited Blade Works, Fate Strange Fate. I believe. I'm pretty sure it's not set after Heaven's Feel. Um, just because certain people are still alive, it seems. Theoretically, I guess it could be after Heaven's Feel, but I believe this is set after Fate Unlimited Blade Works, and it is definitely set after Lord El Malloy. You have to watch Lord El Malloy before watching this, or rather, it's very important. I did read a couple of the spoilers, and several of the characters from Lord El Malloy will be reappearing here. Essentially in their first real mainline continuity appearance, which is great to see. It's based off of a light novel series that came out. Now, this episode here, it's billed as episode 1. It's kind of a debate of what it is. It feels like 2 anime episodes put together. So I think the way it is, it's a TV special. It's like, here is 2 episodes as a special. Get hyped. So this was released in July of 2023. There is going to be a TV series. They have announced it. We just don't know when. Probably delayed because of COVID, would be my guess. A lot of stuff's been delayed due to COVID, like the Nier Automata series. So it looks like, though, um, this is a 1 hour special, and we're going to be a main series later. So is this an OVA? Is this a special? Is this episode 1? I don't know exactly. So I don't know how they're going to do the numbering when we get to the anime episode, where they're going to start, say, this is episode 0, and then episode 1 will be the next one. Because we also had that. Fate Zero and Fate Unlimited Blade Works both had episode 0s that were special. So if I had to guess, this is like that. This is like an episode 0, just to set things up, introduce you to many of the major characters, introduce many of the big questions. There's a lot of questions raised in this episode that hopefully we will get answers for in the main series. I know some of them we do, because again, I accidentally read some spoilers. I wish I hadn't, but it did help inform a couple things on this episode that were genuinely confusing to me. So, without much further ado, we're going to get into the episode itself. As I said, I have a overlay over the screen to avoid copyright. The audio is muted. You will see subtitles, so you can follow along with your own copy. The episode is up on Crunchyroll if you want to watch one, if you want to watch along, and I do recommend it. Yeah, this is pretty good. So, all right, starting the episode in 3, 2, 1. All right. So one of the things the episode does right away is it brings you back up to speed on summoning the servants. So we get a servant summoning here. Now, one of the noted facets of Fate continuity is, in order to summon a servant, you need an artifact, an item, something connected to the servant in question. So here, let's see. Yeah, you kind of saw a glance. Yeah, if you heed the Grail's call, answer me. So here we see the elaborate, and now already you see the animation team on there flexing a bit. The way they do the wind, the lights, the sound design is all very top notch. So you already know, okay, people are summoning servants, so you've got a Holy Grail war. Okay, so at first I thought, alright, this is alternate continuity, this is a redo of the 4th or 5th. So for reference, the 4th Holy Grail War was in Fate Zero, the 5th Holy Grail War was in Fate Unlimited Blade Works. They'll reference those numbers in here. Something with the name Holy Grail, yeah, so the Holy Grail is what they fight for, as the name suggests. You know, it's like, we want the Holy Grail. Yeah. You must bring us a shrubbery. Now, they also reference here, yeah, the fact, yeah, they reference more of the lore that, the Grail War was started in Japan. It takes place in Japan. But, so they're already very quickly saying, hey, this is Japan. Um, and we also have an immediate name drop of, hey, Lord El Malloy. It's like, oh, okay, wow. All right, we've got a reference to the last two series and Lord El Malloy. Now, Lord El Malloy also exists in the Grand Order timeline, so that doesn't help narrow it down. Yeah, so we already have a. So essentially, what we already have here is the establishing that yes, we're gonna have another Grail War, but the weird thing is the Grail War ended on the 5th. There shouldn't be another one. That's the weird thing. That's why I thought it was alternate. Yeah, you can't summon a serpent without the Grail, without the groundwork. That's what he's saying. Like, it's weird. Why are we able to do this? And then we see who he summoned. And it's like, oh, hi, you're familiar. We've seen you several times. Oh, they brought back Gilgamesh. Yeah. Yeah. Your hand's gone. No, it isn't. Well, what's that then? I like how Gil is completely unfazed. Now, at first I thought that Gilgamesh had sliced off his hand, but that wasn't the case. Turns out it was the new person here. But Gil is just completely unfazed, like, oh, you lost your hand. Okay, that was kind of pitiful. Why are you so weak? Yeah, so he immediately tells her that she's the one who spilled the blood. Yeah, unworthy meat is, yeah, stole the treasury key. So that's, now we see the item he used to summon him. He used a treasury key that was tied to Gilgamesh. Now, in the previous summonings, they use a skin discarded by I think the World Serpent or something like that. I think that was the catalyst used in Fate Zero and Fate Unlimited Blade Works. And he's like, "How dare you insult me?" And he's like, "Ah, crap, I screwed up. Well, I'm removed from life." Yeah, and she just, murders him without blinking. So, immediately giving you an idea of what kind of character you're dealing with. And also using ley lines as well, which is interesting. We do have ley lines referenced in Fate Zero. That is an existing magic system in this. So we have Snowfield, the name of the land. Yeah, and we see more of his philosophy. It's like if you're a mongrel, you'll always be a mongrel. It doesn't matter if you're a mage or not. He doesn't care. Are you a mongrel or are you worthy? That's the only two classifications that he has. And you can be worthy without being a mage, and you can be unworthy while being a mage. He doesn't care. He cares about your nobility. And that's something that comes through very strong. Fate Grand Order dives into what Gilgamesh believes to be noble and true. We essentially get to see good Gilgamesh there. Whereas in Fate Zero and Fate Unlimited Blade Works, we see more of a corrupted Gilgamesh, who's much more cruel. But at least, but here it looks like they're returning him more to his noble roots. Hey, it's Lulu. Thanks for stopping by. I know I was streaming kind of at the same time you are. I wanted to get this done because I wanted to test this, and I don't have time the next couple days. Yay! Now, this confused me a little bit because this guy here who's talking to him, he's a new character, but he looks like Sven from the Lord El Malloy series. So I actually was getting mixed up with Sven, but he isn't. He is a new character to this series, but he's also one of Lord El Malloy's students. Now, Langle, the famous puppeteer, he is the one we saw earlier talking to the younger guy, Faldius. And now we're also seeing an indicator of what this guy feels, because he looks like, oh, look, I'm happy-go-lucky, derp, 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 derp. But, like, it's like, wait a minute, you spy out a meeting with multiple high-level boundaries cast by very elderly, powerful mages. How the hell did you penetrate that security? Yeah, he's that insane. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing he's a good guy. But I love the reactions here from Lord Malloy. He's used to this kind of thing. Yeah, and now we have him also ask about Catalyst. So he's the new guy. So Lord El Malloy, aka Waver Velvet, he will now, you know, he is explaining some of the details. He's also showing that, yeah, you can summon a servant with the Catalyst, but if they deem you unworthy, they'll just kill you. Like, a servant will not serve an unworthy master. Especially those with higher autonomy. Now, a weak servant, so basically, if as a mage, summon a servant beyond what you can control, you're dead. It's very similar to Pokemon. If you try to control a Pokemon much higher level than what you can handle, they'll just not obey you. Same here. Only this time they'll just stab you. Because they would much rather just return to the throne of heroes, which is where they're summoned from, than work for somebody who's not worthy. And servants do have their own personalities. They're not completely obedient. You know, if they're not, for example, if you ordered King Arthur to slaughter children, she would have some issues with that. Arturia would not just do that. There are some servants who will just happily slaughter children, but yeah, those are exceptions because they're supposed to be heroic. So this new guy is Flat. That's literally his name, Flat. Also, we have reference here. What I find interesting, I think we had a little bit of reference to it in the last couple series, but this one is introducing much earlier. The root. So the root is a concept that exists across several Type Moon works, not just Fate's Day Night, but also I forgot the one where Neko Arc is from. Um, but it's a multiversal singularity, which is the root of all magic. And so the root of all magic is um, very very important because it's literally the source of all magical energy in the multiverse. And so the mages want to get to it. And the Holy Grail, making a wish on the Holy Grail, is seen as a path to it. Hence the Grail War. But we also get more characterization here for Flat. You know, he doesn't want to go into this to kill. He wants to have fun. Killing's not fun for him. Yeah, he wants to make friends. He wants to meet interesting people. That's his goal. And that is a horrible, horrible idea for the Grail War. Yeah. And we see Waver getting flashbacks to Fate Zero here. Hey, look, it's Shinji. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but I like how much time we get on Lord El Malloy. They acknowledge his history, they acknowledge what he's done, they acknowledge his standing and the continuity. Because he's also, among his students is Rin Tosaka, who plays a big role in Fate Unlimited Blade Works. He's one of her professors. You can have it. Now, it's interesting because Flat reacted to the package, but Lord El Malloy thought it was just a throwaway thing. Yeah, he thought that would make him forget about the Holy Grail War. Oh no. Now that was the catalyst he used in the fourth war to summon Iskandar. Yeah, the other five will all depend on the summoner. Right. So he's citing the old rules, which is 7. But he's citing the new one, which is 6. Yep, the 7 classes of guerrilla war. Yeah, so we're already seeing a fake Holy Grail war, hence, fate, strange, fake. So he got off. So I wanted to start. So now we see a reference to the third Holy Grail war. Now the third is key to Fate Apocrypha. We find out more about the third war in Fate Apocrypha. Yeah, and so now we see Falvius being revealed as the true enemy, the creator of this 6th Holy Grail war, a fake Holy Grail war. You could call it number 6, you could call it a fake. But he brought it to America and attempted to control it. And he got rid of the Saber class. So that's telling you that, yeah, Saber, she's not going to be she is, sir, not appearing in this picture. Now we see here with Falvius. Okay, he's getting set up. It's like, oh, look, sleight of hand fooled you, huh? Yeah, you're all tense and, yeah, see, I'm just smoking. He's also differentiating himself. Right. Right. He is differentiating himself here from the clock tower. So the clock tower is the ancient order in London, but yeah, he's a mage, but he can use magecraft, but he serves the U.S. government. Now we see here a callback to Fate Zero. One of the things that was established there is how do you assassinate a mage? The solution is you have to surprise them. You have to catch them off guard. You can shoot a mage and they will die, but you have to catch them off guard. That's the sleight of hand was. Keep focused on the lighter, keep focused on the cigar. He never noticed the guns hiding in the woods. Boom, blown away, torn apart. That's how Kodamene fought the mages in Fate Zero. So great callback there. That strategy is known to the U.S. government, is what that's saying. So here we see another summon. Now the weird thing is with Gilgamesh, so before he was archer class, but I don't think they state what class he is. So we're left to kind of wonder. Right. Oh, so yeah, this one. Yeah, so this one I believe is assassin. Yeah. You're gonna have a bad day. Oh, look, he exploded. Yeah, and unfortunately, she's an assassin who hates mages, which is a bad thing to summon. Oh no. So, yeah, he straight up got his heart ripped out. Oops. Yep. Mages are humans. Yeah. Wizards are squishy in this world. Yeah, anti-tank rifles work. Again, this is all he's going over the strategies we saw in Fate Zero. Right, and they set this up because Langle was known as the puppet mage. They had the flat reference that earlier. Oh, look, he was using a puppet. So, yeah, they didn't actually kill him. He's too wily for that. But he knew that going in. Faldius knew that. Yeah, essentially what you are seeing here is the birth of a new organization based in the U.S. that's now hijacking the Holy Grail War for their own purposes and is in direct opposition to the Clock Tower of London, the previous group that controlled the Grail War. Because you had the Church and the Clock Tower oversaw the old Grail War, and this one doesn't happen. This is a third party that is essentially usurping that. So this is a direct challenge to the old power by a new power, which is great. That sets up so many cool political options. And it's a great way to introduce America into the Fate universe because you don't have too much of America. This bit of animation is a little clunky. That was kind of weird. I hope they clean that up. But Right, so now we're seeing her motivation. So Tine is her name. So from her perspective, and now she is, as we'll find out, Native American. So from their perspective, Snowfield is being polluted by this fake Holy Grail war. They want it to stop. So they are participating not to win it, but to end it. And hey, yeah, if you want a servant who could just straight up just end of given conflict, Gilgamesh is your guy. Oh boy, we saw that. Gilgamesh is a cut above most other servants. Yeah. So we have so now we have another organization here. So you have Faldius with the U.S. government hijacking the Grail, but you have another group that sees it as a taint or an abuse upon the land and is standing up for that. Very similar to American Gods. You had with Neil Gaiman. You had Neil Gaiman making the land itself a character. Now this is a reference here to the video game Fate Hollow Ataraxia. Gilgamesh drinks that particular potion to de-age himself and turn himself into a kid. We see, quote, young Gilgamesh. So that's what that potion is. It's kind of neat. Yeah, now this group is a little creepy in my mind. Because, yeah, so you have the impression that the daughter is doing something. So the daughter has the command spells, but you're like, what? Not a lot. The show does not explain a lot about what's going on with her. But I find her fascinating. You know, super creepy parents who abuse their own daughter to gain power. Okay, there's a lot you can do with that. Now, this bit here reminded me of Ida 10. You had the character of the demon overlord who, you know, his main robot body got blown up, so he had to use like a cheap one, and everyone was like, oh, that kind of gave me Ida 10 memories. Yeah, yeah, for since Lord Elmaloy was participating in the fourth war, and his series answers why he did not participate in the fifth, having another one, yet another Holy Grail war going, really tears him up inside. Yeah. So now we see Langle relaying Faldius's words to Malloy. And we see Malloy getting news like, wait, you have an apprentice over there? And this is how Malloy finds out that Flat took the package that he gave him as a sign of, oh, you should totally go participate in the Holy Grail War, kid. And even though he was like, oh, this will distract you from the Grail War. No, no, this will send him headlong into it. And Malloy is like, oh no. I love the panic reaction. I love the reaction. I like how he just immediately grips up and is like, oh no, I know who that is. Hooray to the London Star! Whatever that means. And he's like, oh god, no. You dumb, crazy kid. Yeah, and Flat's already got the command spells. Yeah, so now it's like, oh, hey, he had a relic. Neat. Oh, well, no, it's a toy from a special sweepstakes for a game, and he thinks it's a relic. So it's like, that's not even a relic. That's not even a proper catalyst. Hey, and by the way, that is Gray. She is from the Lord Elmaloy series. As well known, you know, Gray is very fond of, as a key love interest for him. So this confirms that she does survive the Lord Elmaloy series. Now, pride level, that's another reference to the Lord El Malloy show. We find out what that is during the course when one of his apprentices ascends to it. But yeah, we get a better understanding of what Flet's capable of. Like, even though he looks like the silly, derpy character, he's actually insanely powerful. He just punches through protective barriers like they're not even there. He can casually conjure magic that takes mages tons and tons of preparation. Like in a heartbeat, all he did was he just looked at the command spells and he instantly figured out how they work with no training. And here, all he did was fiddle around with the ley lines, plug into them a little bit, and boom, now he has a servant. So remember at the beginning of the show, big ritual, elaborate circle, chanting, casts, catalysts, all of that stuff. And this guy is able to do it with just by thinking about it a little bit and just essentially just flexing a little muscle. Boom, summon servant. This guy is insane. Of course he would get stuck with Lord El Malloy, because, yeah, he always gets stuck with that. But this is also probably why Malloy was like, oh no, oh no, he's lucid this, oh no. Now, in his case, the benefit is because of his power, because of his ability, the servant has no problem. Be like, okay, yeah, I accept you as a master. Yeah, no, you're cool. You're good. Bazooka beats Fireball, yes. I like that. Sneak the Wizards, Bazooka beats, yeah. Talent versus hard work, yeah. Yeah, Flat is high on the talent, but he does do some hard work, as we saw. I mean, he rushes in. He's got tons of initiative. He is very dedicated. He's got a lot of energy. It's just he's a bit scattered. He's impulsive. Malloy wants him to learn more control and discipline. That's what he's trying to impart on the kid. But he's very much a, whoa, let's do it. And unfortunately, he has the power to literally just go do it. And he could definitely be, he could definitely get himself to way more trouble than he can handle. And he can do it very easily. With the one who stopped my atrocities. However, and this is what you. Now, this was cool here, because if you've seen Fate Apocrypha, Jack the Ripper. So, this is interesting here, because this is the first time we've had an alternate version of an existing servant. Because in Fate Apocrypha, we get Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper in Fate Apocrypha is the spirit of all the orphans of London made manifest, who attacks the women out of jealousy over basically dying without a mom. And it takes the form of a young girl who is assassin class. So Jack the Ripper here, this one is more of a bodiless shapeshifter who's very clearly male. So solely a go-getter with no brakes. Okay, yeah, basically a go-getter with no brakes. That is a great way to describe this character from what I've seen. A very competent to a degree. Is Jack the Ripper a woman? In Fate Apocrypha, Jack the Woman is a young girl. Here, it's a guy. Very clearly a male voice, but no physical body. So this is a different version of Jack the Ripper that Flat has summoned. Now, if I want to guess, it would be Jack the Ripper in Fate Apocrypha is probably the true form. Um, and that was probably because that was summoned properly. Here, Flat summoned Jack the Ripper by basically just fiddling around, not doing the ritual, not even having a proper catalyst, and just brought a servant forth. So this could be an aspect of Jack the Ripper, or just or like a different take on it, because it's established that Jack the Ripper is an amalgam. So this could be one, yeah. So this could be one version of Jack the Ripper. In other words, the Apocrypha one and this one coexist. We don't know though. That's actually one of the big unanswered questions. It's like, what's the relation of this Jack the Ripper to the Fate Apocrypha and Fate Grand Order Jack the Ripper? Because canonically, no matter your timeline, wherever you summon from the Throne of Heroes, which is the source of the heroic spirits, will always be the same, regardless of your timeline. those are held constant. Like, you summon Arturia in this continuity, you summon Arturia in Lost Encore, you're going to get the same Arturia. Hey! yeah, that's Flat's character. Well, Flat's thing is like, we're gonna be friends now. He basically he believes in top no jutsu, which Lord Almaloy, um, which Lord Almaloy keeps trying to dissuade him of, and he's like, no, I make anyone a friend. I'm just gonna do it. And because he has so much magical power, no one's really a threat to him, I guess, which is probably a factor in that. Basically, people will choose to be his friend because, like, well, if I make him angry, he might kill me. So yeah. Now this guy's actual nuts. I don't. I'm really curious here. This guy has a really interesting thing. So he came back from having his heart crushed, which is okay. That's neat. Yeah, so ordinary amount of magical energy, so we immediately get the impression this guy is very different. Boom, he changes bodies. I like this look here too. This looks kind of neat. So I'm curious to learn more about this guy and his backstory. A lot of time, this episode is mainly an introduction to these characters. We don't get the Fate series is very good about, like, here's some setup, here's some introduction to this guy, here's a hook. You will get more later. We will get more in depth as time goes on. And now we see him. Yeah, now we see him absorb the dead bodies of his own henchmen, possibly to, like, recharge or something. So maybe he had, like, blood magic. Yeah, and now we kind of get the. Oh man, this guy's this guy might be one of the nuttier characters in the Fate series, and there are some pretty. I mean, there has been at least one serial killer in the Fate series from Fate Zero there. Uh, so yeah, this guy's on par with that one. So there's always at least one character who's like, yeah, this guy's evil, and sometimes the other characters have to team up to stop that one. I think this guy is it. Yeah, this is another character we don't get a ton of backstory on him, but I am curious here. Yeah, so that's obviously referencing Flat. Yeah, so basically Flat was just trouncing around saying, "Look at my command spell! Woo, aren't these pretty?" And then he got noticed, but he was able. Then after they noticed him, he just slipped away, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't lost sight of him." It's like, wait a minute, you had 20 cameras on him, and he just slipped away. Like, yeah. Again, it shows he's not Flat is not all derp a derp. He is able to use his skills to slip away. Yeah, and he correctly identifies this character. He immediately correctly identifies that Gilgamesh is the biggest single threat that any of them have, which is a very correct assessment at this stage of the game. Gilgamesh is very clearly the strongest guy in play. Now we flash back to. Yeah, this one, I have no freaking clue what that is. So the only now we see that's inside her mind. So I'm pretty sure that is her servant. So that's a servant. It's in her mind. I have no idea how that works. We've never seen anything like it. The closest I can think of is Fate Last Encore with the Alice in Wonderland or the Mother Goose servant, who essentially was keeping like the master was like a half dead girl, like bedridden girl who couldn't move, but it essentially animated her or gave her another body that she could use to move around, even though her real form was like completely bedridden. So now we get another one. So this one I believe is the caster. Now we don't his job is to create heroes. We don't find out his name. Like some of these we know. We know Gilgamesh. We know the beautiful assassin. We know Jack the Ripper. Yeah. So this is this was an interesting caster type because he looks more like a gangster than but I believe based on what he's saying like he's a writer. So we have seen writers as caster before. Famously, we had Shakespeare as a caster in Fate Apocrypha. So it looks like he's in that same line of author who is a caster. Okay, will do. Thank you for the advice. Now now I take that as kind of a reference to Fate Unlimited Blade Works. There's this whole subplot about can an imitation overcome the original? So it looks like that character may play to that, but in a different way into a script. So he's referencing a script again, very similar to the Shakespeare from Fate Apocrypha here. So I'm seeing him taking maybe the same function. Now again, we're establishing this character. This guy did his homework. Gilgamesh, he knows who he is. Right. He's instantly coming up with counter strategies. I mean, this is Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is one of the strongest servants you can possibly summon. And he's already thinking like, how do we use it? Yeah, what if there are humans who have mastered using noble phantasms? So instead of, because servants use noble phantasms as their main magical weapons. And now we see what he's got. So this is really, I want to see more of this. That is, that's an interesting concept. The idea of regular humans wielding noble phantasms to take down servants. That is a fascinating assassination technique. We have not seen that before. And now, if I had a sharper eye, I'm sure some Fate fans could probably identify the different weapons they have. I don't have the noble phantasms memorized like that. I'm not that deep into it. But I'm sure that many of those are distinct weapons from say Fate Grand Order or something. Now we get another character. Now I have no idea who she is. They don't really clarify it either in the dialogue. Now, this one here, it sounds like she misspeaks, but I think she did that on purpose because yeah, the Golden Raspberry Award is for bad acting jobs. So if she's so what she means to say is, oh, I would award you this, but for bad acting, yeah. So it's a dig. But we're also seeing like the whole, there's some kind of con going on. So what she's implying here, and we don't get too much more on this, is there's another game going on. So you have Faldius and the fake Grail War, and you have this guy though. You have this guy who's clearly plotting something against Faldius. He's keeping track of things. Now we also see here. Now that's a fascinating line. Ruler. Now Ruler appears in Fate Apocrypha, Jeanne d'Arc. So So a ruler class is summoned specially if some kind of if some kind of violation of the rules happens. So in the Third Holy Grail War, there was a violation of the rules, and we saw that spiral into Fate Apocrypha, where ruler came to deal with what the heck is going on. You guys aren't doing this right. It's a way for the Throne of Heroes to say, hey, fix this. Yeah. So in this one now, she's saying, "Oh, I kind of want Ruler to show up." Yeah, because this one's also kind of sick and twisted. Sick and twisted little girl is like, "Oh yeah, I want to turn." So she is. when she says I want Ruler to show up and I want to like burn her apart, she's referencing Jeanne d'Arc, I think, because Jeanne d'Arc is the main person who appears as Ruler. No matter what you do, you can just resolve by saying you've gone mad. So that's probably a hint to as her what her character is, because we don't know her name. Now, also interesting, she refers to the guy, the author guy, as fake caster. Not caster, but fake caster. Now, the concept of a fake version of a class, we see that in Fate Stay Night. Because Fate Stay Night, you have true assassin versus fake assassin. You have Musashi as a fake assassin who is summoned by Caster, another servant. So a servant summons yet another one. But the true assassin, El Saban, he is hidden in the background, but he's the actual assassin class. So you essentially had two assassins at the same time, a fake and a real. So she's saying that guy's fake Caster. So does that mean there's two casters? I think it also implies that she is a true caster. So is she a caster who summoned another caster? Casterception? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. And it's not adequately explained. Now this is neat. We saw this guy briefly with the dog before. Now it's like, no. Why did you get a command spell? Blah blah blah. Now this is another sort of first, which is this master isn't human. This is a dog. So he made a magic dog who in the hell summoned. And then, now this is the point where I went, oh, holy shit, what the world? Because if you've watched Fate Grand Order, you know who this is. You know who this is. And you know that it's a really bad thing that this person is here. Because that's in Kaido. Yeah. And in Fate Grand Order, the thing with Enkaidu is he's ridiculously strong. Now, I will also say that in Fate Grand Order, Enkaidu is clearly coded as male, as a male voice actor, I believe. Now, interestingly though, in here they changed the voice actor. This is not the same voice actor as Fate Grand Order, I think. I will have to double check on that. But if it is, they're using a much more feminine voice, or I think they just changed it outright to a woman. So this is Enkaidu as a female. Yeah, it kind of gave a scary look and he ran away. Yep. And then Valdius is here. So here we see in now in Fate Zero, Fate Unlimited, Blade works. Yep. And then we see Hail of Bullets again. There we go. That's how you deal with the mage. So he just Valdius just likes to kill mages with bullets. It's just go to. That's twice now. Like man. But yeah, divine spirit, not heroic spirit. So, yes, this is why summoning in Kaidu is oh god. Because here's the thing, so Gilgamesh is half human, half god, right? So half divine, but still a hero. And Kaidu is a god. 100% a god. And yeah, so the Throne of Heroes is only supposed to give you access to heroic spirits. These are humans who have passed, who've done heroic acts. It's like King Arthur, Alexander the Great. You get Thomas Edison is one. Nikola Tesla is one. And Kaidu though is a god. Gods occupy a separate realm, a realm above heroic spirits. Somehow, this guy gave the dog the ability to summon from the divine spirits. A full god. This is quite a lot powerful than your average servant. For reference, Kaido can blow up the planet. Yeah, Da Vinci is a heroic servant. Actually, Da Vinci is canonically a heroic servant in Fate Grand Order. Da Vinci's one of the support characters. And the other thing, too, that makes people go, oh no, is, yeah, Enkainu is Gilgamesh's childhood friend. So, yeah, Enkainu and Gilgamesh just got reunited in the modern world. Two beings who can blow up the planet. with ease. And I think it's fun. And, yeah, they're both in the same war. That's a very bad thing. That's oh no. Because Gilgamesh can keep up with Enkidu. That's one of the things. Yeah, yeah. But that's one of the things that Falvius notes is that you broke the rules. You broke the rules hard. You are not supposed to summon from the divine realm. That is way beyond what you're actually supposed to do here because you just summoned something horrendously broken. Now, I mean, Gilgamesh is broken, but within the rules. Like he's pushing it because again, half a god. But um, yeah, Enkidu's like full god. So here we see Gilgamesh's test of Tine. It's like, all right, so hey, Enkidu's here. There's someone worthy of my talent. I'm going all out because here's Awaya. Here's the sword that can blow up the planet. So noble phantasms, for reference, have a rank. Some of them are like anti-personnel, so like they kill one person. Some are anti-army, they can wipe out many people. Some are anti-fortress. Excalibur, for example, can destroy an entire castle. That's anti-fortress. It's pretty powerful stuff. Some go a little higher than that. Ea, Gilgamesh's sword, is ranked anti-planet. It's a planet buster. Yeah. He just casually wields that. Here's a planet buster. It can blow up gods. It has, in Fate Grand Order, it blows up a god. And here's Enkidu, who can do the exact same thing and match him blow for blow. This series literally has two planet busters in it. And Faldius here is understandably a little worried by this. It's like, I just wanted to get the Holy Grail. I didn't want to unleash a pair of planet busters. Oh no, what has happened? So Faldius, to his credit, does in fact realize just how deep he's in it. He knows how bad this is. This is also why he kills that guy, because he can't afford him doing that again. But yeah, as I was saying before, in Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night, Fate Unlimited Blade Works, the church maintains the rules. So if someone steps out of line, the church goes in to kill him or have the others kill him. In this one, Faldius is playing that role. So he's playing the role of the church of the organizer. And now we see a little bit of flexibility here. Just like, oh, I want to look this thing. I'm just going to look. Yeah, he's literally just hijacking a familiar. If I get caught, I'll just apologize. Now, by the way, I love that watch. That watch reminds me of the Jack the Ripper in Record of Ragnarok kind of look. That looks like the kind of watch that guy would wear. So, so I'm all about Jack the Ripper. I find Jack the Ripper a fascinating character. Since I like steampunk so much, Jack the Ripper obviously is a very archetype for that. I love the Record of Ragnarok version. Yep, two old friends. Hey, old friend. Yeah, they're friends who got along by beating the crap out of each other. Yeah, yeah, and these two clashing has gotten everybody's attention. I mean, yeah. Now they tell you Enkidu's name because the nice thing about this show is they're not assuming you know all this. Now I'm explaining a whole bunch of this extraneous stuff, but in all seriousness, you don't need it to enjoy this. And they do tell you about this, like Enkidu, divine spirit. Like if you know the legend of Gilgamesh, you know the name. It's a historical figure. Yeah. Now the music here is really good. I really like the song choice they've got here going on. And you see also the contrast. Aikido is using the land. Aikido is like using trees and plants. Gilgamesh is using air and the lightning. and he's using the incantation. And you can see that, like, it's visible from space. For I walk with humanity. Therefore. Ah, and they have the exact same attack. That's the thing. It's a attack that can blow up the planet, and they both got it. That is, oh man, that is crazy. And I will say, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting Kainu to be in main series. I thought, because we got tons of Enkainu in Babylonia. Well, sort of. If you watched Grand Order, you know the Enkainu we got there wasn't like the real Enkainu. The real Enkainu had died, but yeah, close enough. But this is the real Enkainu. So what's neat here is this ties back in many ways to Fate Grand Order. So now you can see the dynamic these two guys actually had, as opposed to the fake one. What fills your vessel has not regressed. Yeah, and we do see Enkainu is um, Enkainu is a little bit considerate. Chose to confront Gil not around populated areas. But yeah, this Enkainu is far more female presenting than the Enkainu in Fate Grand Order. Although I think canonically, Enkainu being a god, I think Enkainu can literally just choose. It's like, woke up today, I want to be a boy. Woke up yesterday, I want to be a girl. Yeah, those things go in the ancient myths. Uh, let's see. Let's see. I thought they have anti-universe noble phantasms. Probably. Um, they're anti-planet at a minimum. Let's see. That Jack the Ripper is vile. I like that Jack the Ripper. It is a fun take. I like my serial killers. And yeah, and so here's just beam spam. It's like Gil is like, I'm gonna throw my fault at you, my entire fault, and kind of like, yeah, well, I'll throw my fault at you because I got access to the exact same thing. And it's literally just blow for blow, just throwing swords at each other. And he actually lands a hit on Gil. That's the other thing. And Gil's like, yes, this is such a cool fight. I love this fight. And they're just having fun. That's the other neat thing about this is they're not doing this because they hate each other. They're doing this because it's like, yeah, bros. This is how they say hello. But yeah, then we see the thing attached to the girl starts coming over. And we see a plague doctor mask, which has me intrigued. I'm like, is it related to a plague? Because that's cool. I like that design. Yeah, and that makes them pause. Let us continue the banquet. Yeah, so like for Gil, this is a celebration of strength. To be strong, to unleash one's full power and have it met. That to him is bliss. And I love that characterization. Fate Zero really goes in depth on it. The Gil we see in Fate Stay Night is a corrupted form, but the Fate Zero one and Fate Grand Order really does it great. And it's like, here, take a party shot. And it's like, it's an explosion you can see from space. That's his, bye bye. That's his slap on the back to a guy who is this explosion you can see from space. And Falvey just like, that was a nuke. They just went full Oppenheimer in the desert. What the hell? Yeah. Fallius is questioning his life choices at this point. And Tina is just like, oh boy. Well, alright then. I'm glad he's on our side. Hercules was too noble to love humanity even though they're the worst. Yeah. Yep. And that is the ending. That's where we end. We end with Gil going Oppenheimer in the desert, become Death Destroyer of Worlds. Although he's the ruler of the world, as he would say, it's his to do what he wants. It's part of his treasure. All the world is his. And you do see a reference as well to his formal title, the King of Heroes. This is because one reason Gilgamesh is the strongest. I should fill in. It's because historically he is regarded as the first hero. Because his saga is the oldest saga, he is regarded as the first hero. He is the king that all other heroes aspire to be. He possesses all noble phantasms. He possesses all items. In fact, it is said that he already owns the Holy Grail. It's already in his treasury. The reason he fights is just to have fun fighting. But he doesn't need the Holy Grail from the Holy Grail War. He literally already owns it. And he says so multiple times. He's literally just fighting for fun. But we get to see him having fun here. And I really like that because in his prior appearances, he always has to hold back a bit. Or he gets annoyed because so a lot of times if he fights a lesser opponent, he doesn't deem them worthy of his full power. It's like, you are unworthy, you're beneath me. I can defeat you with one arm tied behind my back. In Kaido, though, no, in Kaido's a different matter. It's like, that's my friend. He's as strong as I am. I could go all out. And that is a blast. I love this. And so, yeah, it's weird, but I like it. I like that we got to see Gilgamesh having fun. That's really nice. So that was cool. I was neat to see them reunited. I was not expecting that. He have it up for a woman. Um, do you mean Gil and Enkidu? Well, I said it's debatable on whether Gil and Enkidu were lovers or just best buds. I choose to see it as a bromance myself. As in Kaido, this one seems to lean more towards woman, but I think the reason they're having Kaido be more of a woman is because Kaido is using more nature powers, so Mother Nature. So Gil is the masculine and Kaido is the feminine. Um, and I think that's a deliberate thing. Oh, here we go. And we have the post-credit scene. This line has been annihilated. This cutting is the worst. A giant spider will awaken. Now, I have no idea who this guy is. Now, my theory on who this guy is, so in Fate Unlimited Blade Works, Rin Tosca mentioned another mage who gave her a specific item. The item plays a big role in the Heaven's Feel arc, um, but he's a character from the other series. I can't remember what it was. Tech Moon's other thing, the one where Neko Arc is from. Arcade. Um, God, why can't I remember the name of it? Man. So this girl should be the protagonist. Be careful about interfering. So I think it could be him. Now he's one who actually made it to the root. That's the thing. He's the first mage to make it to the root. He can see things. He does pop in. He travels across the multiverse. So he's not from the Fate Stay Night universe. He's from another series. But he can travel in. Will her universe be a protocol, or will it be the reverse? So yeah, because he's talking in multiversal terms. So he has a multiversal perspective on things. That's why I think he's that guy. I forgot his name though. I'll look it up later. Are you my master? Now we see a knight, possibly a knight of the Round Table. In fact, and now we see our main character. Oh man, yeah, you can instantly tell. I was like, all right, I'm cool with her being the main character. Yes, please. Yes, that is okay. That is fine. That is she's a very acceptable main character. Let me back it up a little bit so you can see her again. And I'll pause there. So let's see. But I like her expression. I like that little attitude. It's like, no, I'm not going to be who you expect me. Now, what does that mean? Don't know. Um, Now he's clearly a knight, probably a British knight, so he might be a saber type. Oops. Oh, okay, that got. Okay, hold on. Oh, whoops. Nope. Wrong button. Dang it. Hold on. Alright, go forward, go forward, go forward, go forward. Why did it have to get scattered right around the... Ah, and dang it! Alright, hold on. This is... Why is this so difficult? Why are you being difficult? Okay, there we go. I'll pause it there. Alright, finally. That took longer than it should be. So, yeah, so you can see from her looks. Alright? She has a saber-style haircut, which is that blonde shoulder length. She's got a braid in there somewhere, which is again, so her hair is a combination of Jeanne d'Arc and Arturia. So she has the blonde hair, and of course the big upgrade that they've given her: glasses, which is great. Love it. Yes, Arturia slash Jeanne d'Arc with glasses. Yes, wonderful. Why didn't they think of that before? Perfect, perfect. They better keep the glasses. They better keep the glasses. I'm really hoping for that. All right, so this uh, in-depth discussion on this. So I really like this. I think this sets up the series pretty well. Introduces throws a ton of stuff at you. Has you going, whoa, what's that? Whoa, what's that mean? A lot of cryptic dialogue and things that will probably make perfect sense down the road. I'm told that this special apparently covers the entire first volume of the light novel. If so, there's definitely a lot of stuff they cut out. So I expect that some of these scenes we will see play out later, but fleshed out and expanded upon. As if they do a flashback thing, there's clearly a lot that they are not telling us. What was that thing with the blade mask? I'm really curious about that. Why is this Jack the Ripper different from Fate Apocrypha's Jack the Ripper? I don't know. Who's this guy? Who's she? I don't know. Obviously, it's saying the main character. What's this thing about multiversal threads and a giant spider? Whoa. Is this series going to deal with a threat of a higher caliber than just the Grail? Because as we know from the previous seasons, the Grail itself had a problem. It got corrupted in the third Grail War. And that was a big issue that the fourth and fifth ones had to work out. But they solved it. So the Grail should be back to normal now. But it's implied there's something more here. A giant spider. Whoa. What's with this multiversal stuff? Um, does Enkaidu's presence, like, what are the implications for that? Like, oh my, because you now have a god in play. How is that going to be balanced out? Because the power scaling of this whole thing is just completely out of whack. There's no way you can touch that for the most part. Really, really weird. So let's see. You have, what is is that real caster versus fake caster? You have, a fake war turning into a true war. How do they plan to do that? Is Ruler coming? Is she a ruler? I don't know. Is the guy she just summoned ruler? Or is that a saber? It looks like a saber to me. Knights are usually sabers. So, what class is Gilgamesh in this one? Don't know. I mean, he's just using all his normal powers, but he always does that. I mean, he's been both a writer and an archer, so what's he in this one? We don't know. What class is Enkaido in this one? Don't know. The like what is the wolf going to do? I mean, it obeys a wolf. Like, does the wolf have human knowledge? So Fate's Knight, that version of Caster who taught her master away, make mana crystals. Um, this wants us to beat her up. I'm not going to fight a caster who's known to summon a dragon. Um, pretty sure if she used it on the Grail, she'll be busted. I want that phantasm. Oh, okay. Um, yeah, yeah. I think that was the. Let's see. And his was at most. So I think that was her first master. Because she does the spoilers, but the caster in the first series, I believe, ends up killing her original summoner, and that's how she ends up with the master she has. And she falls in love with him. Yeah, yeah. The first caster is pretty hot. That was Media. Media was the first was the caster in that one. She's able to, again. She was able to summon her own servant, which is not supposed to be possible. That's how strong of a mage she was. She has a she has a pretty interesting arc. Fate Unlimited Blade Works did a really good job with her. You got some cool stuff in there. Rule Breaker, yeah, Rule Breaker changed some stuff up. She used it very intelligently. She played the game well. Yeah, because yeah, she's weak to physical stuff, but her skill at magecraft was top tier. Yeah, the caster class are squishy wizards, but they're very good when they stay behind the scenes. Saber is the I stride into battle, I kill you. Berserker, same deal. Um, let's see. Oh, right, yeah, that's right. Jack the Ripper in this one's the Berserker class, I think they said. So we know who Berserker is, and we know who Caster is, and we know Assassin. We don't know the classifications for Enkaidu, Gilgamesh, or whatever is in that little girl. So those three we don't know. So, but we know Caster, Assassin, and Berserker. And so I'm assuming whoever she summoned is Saber. So there is a seventh after all. How? Why? We don't know. Um, yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot to this. I am very much looking for the TV series. The animation is gorgeous. The voice acting is great. The music is solid as always. They've done a very very good job here. There's clearly a lot to it. I love the intrigue. My the reason I love the Fate series is not just the flashy battles. Like a lot of people like, oh, the Fate series, yeah, it's just tons of dialogue and then some good fights. Like, no, the dialogue is great. If you read the dialogue, the stuff they say, the depth they go, the philosophical depths and the exploration of the characters, it's really well done. It's very, like, one of my favorite episodes in Fate Zero is one where there's hardly any action. It's literally Gilgamesh, Alexander the Great, and King Arthur sitting down, drinking booze, and discussing what it is to be a king. And that is some of the best dialogue of the entire series. It's like those three historical figures just discussing what it is to be a king and comparing notes across three different eras. Where you have Gilgamesh at the beginning of recorded civilization, Alexander the Great, right in kind of the middle, and King Arthur towards the modern era. And you have them comparing how humanity progresses through time and how our concept of heroism and being a lord has changed. It's so fascinating. And the Fate series as a whole does it really well. They treat the historical characters with very interesting tone. In like while they will take some liberties with design, like, oh, King Arthur's a girl. Okay. However, just because she's a girl, they still treat her as King Arthur. They still give her all the gravitas and the drama of King Arthur's life. They just made her a woman. That's all. But she's still the character. And she still has all of that baggage and it still comes up in her decisions and informs her character. Every time they choose a historical figure, it is typically to represent a philosophical standpoint or a plot point or to make or to play a role in the larger story. It's not just gratuitous. Fate Grand Order, obviously, well, I mean, it's a gotcha game, so that one's a little looser. But but yeah, the Fate series is so good at taking real historical figures, plugging them into stories, dramatizing them just enough, and then uh, really, really bringing out some excellent writing and some excellent setup. And that to me is the strength of the series. And I definitely see this following that mold. Let's see, I would say this one moved a lot faster than, say, Fate Zero. I'd say the pacing on this is better than Fate Zero, better than Unlimited Blade Works. This reminded me a lot of Fate Apocrypha. The pacing on this reminds me a lot of Fate Apocrypha, but it's set in the main continuity, and it's very clearly able to top the main series, the main continuity, just in terms of how hard it wants to go. I mean, that first episode's got Kainu versus Gilgamesh. That's insane. That's insane. That is climax of the story type stuff, and they give it to you in the first episode, and it's gonna get crazier from here. That's the thing. If they're putting that in the first episode, it's gonna get crazier from here, and I am all for that. Like, how? What is this writer got up his sleeve? I gotta know. Oh, listen, I find it funny. All the Langers were mid, but everyone had a hard time to kill them. Oh, Lancers. That's true. Hey, yeah. I mean, the Fate Unlimited Bladeworks Lancer was a real cool dude. Yeah. I mean, he got stuck with a bad master, um, but yeah, he wanted to do the right thing. He was a good guy. He was a heroic spirit, and that came through. And he did refuse to do heinous acts that his master ordered him to do. So yeah, good dude. Yeah, Lancers were tough. They just Lancers are always eclipsed by the archers and saber classes. Because on one hand, like they want to, you think you could throw him in there and have him go head to head, but saber will just take him out. Or an archer will, so they don't have the range of the archer and they don't have the close-up capacity of the saber, so they're kind of stuck in between them while still being a frontliner. Seeing the insane power creep they've introduced. Yeah, yeah, me too. Again, like this. So Fate Zero has, as I said, they have Gilgamesh and King Arthur is one of the main conflicts of Fate Zero, and then that is then rehashed in Fate Unlimited Blade Works. But instead of King Arthur versus Gilgamesh, it's the main character Amiyashiro versus Gilgamesh, and you see him overcome Gilgamesh by matching him, eventually like matching the King of Heroes in one-on-one combat, which is crazy. But the but Gilgamesh was as strong as it got in the main continuity, essentially. And now, yeah, they're bringing in a Kaido, which is from Grand Order. So they've increased this now to Grand Order kind of scale. Now, Grand Order's power scaling, by the way, is even more ridiculous than this. Um, the like Fate Grand Order has the extinction of all history itself at stake in the first arc, and so they have to stop that from happening. So literally, they have to throw literally hundreds of servants come in just for the sake of defending humanity there as the big finale. And it's done really well. It's really cool. Um, so, but that is power creep well beyond what we're going to get here. So this is going to be short of that. Um, Still, the big thing though, one of the things Fate does well, especially in Fate Zero, was yeah, this character may look big, strong, tough, but there's always a weakness. There's always a way to outthink your opponent. A lot of times it wasn't just who had the biggest flashy attacks. So okay, yeah, you can launch a nuke, but is your nuke going to do any good when a sniper bullet from 2 miles away puts a hole in your head? Nope. There you go. And then and we saw kind of allusions to that with Valdius taking out Longol and so on. It's like they're weak to physical attacks. Also, no matter how strong a servant is, if their master dies, the servant's gone. Sorry, that was one aspect they didn't make clear here, but um, I think Malloy and Flat had that a little bit in the conversation where one of it's not the tactic to win. One way to win is you defeat the other servant. Another tactic to win is you kill the master, and that's a completely valid way to win. Is killing the other master, and yeah, you may be a really strong servant, but your master's still a human. I still pull a bullet in them. So that's a weakness all of the servants still have. So yeah, if Tina's throat gets slit, Gilgamesh is done. Doesn't matter. Berserker, all versions, lurking force or overwhelming force, hard to stop once they get going. Yeah, this Berserker, this Jack the Ripper Berserker, is a really interesting take. A shapeless a shapeless shapeshifter trickster berserker. But he can talk. He's perfectly rational. Like the berserker is usually cursed with madness, but this one isn't. So I'm really curious how this plays out. And power creep definitely. Man, whew, I'm trying to think. Let's see. Was there anything else here? Again, we don't know when the anime series itself is going to come out. Um, this was essentially released as a teaser. I don't think we're going to get the anime series this year. I think we were supposed to get it this year. I think they ended up having to push it to 2024. That's fine. I'm fine with delays. The delays to make things better is fine in my book. Um, and again, I was not expecting a main continuity. I wasn't expecting this to be main. I thought this was going to be another alt universe. I'm really happy we're back in the main continuity, and I'm really happy to see Lord El Malloy used more here. In Fatal Limited Blade Works, you only see him very briefly at the very end to tie him in. Here, he's right out the gate, major character. He's the mentor to one of the participants. So, will he appear again? I don't know. I mean, he might fly in after Flat going, get back here, grabbing him by here and be like, stop. You're, get out of there. He might. Or he might just let the kid learn. I don't know. Real curious what they're going to do there. Assassin is a meh. Yeah, the beautiful assassin. The it's weird with the beautiful assassin. The owner is more intriguing. Like he has this kind of like 6 cylinders on his chest, and he like rotates, and he suddenly gets a new heart and new body. That's interesting. Curious what the backstory is on that. I'm sure there's something. He's also really, really crazy, which is like, okay, yeah, I like the second ones, so that should be interesting. Yeah, Beautiful Assassins, I agree with you. It's an interesting take on Assassin, because True Assassin is typically male. So this is a female assassin. We haven't seen a female assassin since Apocrypha with, I forgot what her name was. She was one of the one who did poisons. Fully, and I can't remember. I think it was Medea's mom or adopted mom who was the assassin in Fate Apocrypha. Assassin is usually the from a specific order of Haban assassins. So this one's a female member. We haven't seen a female member of that order before. So 12 a.m. Okay. Have a good night, Uni. Thanks for watching along. Um, Yeah, I gotta say, I enjoy live streaming these Byte Club Cinemas. You guys having chat feedback for me is really, really nice. So I will probably do it like this going forward. Probably not this time of night, because this steps on the toes of some other streamers and stuff. But I like this. And by the way, for those of you watching the VOD version of this, yes, so this was live streamed. I live streamed this on a Tuesday. I'll get a schedule eventually. I haven't set my schedule yet. And also, oh, please remember, my debut is Thursday, August 3rd, 7 p.m. Central. I should have mentioned at the beginning. I was going to mention at the beginning, and I completely forgot. My bad. The Noble Spirit for Assassins are don't really last long. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Assassins, the true assassin died really, really fast, usually off screen in the Fate Unlimited Blade Works. Heaven's Feel, you get to see him more. Because that's the one where he actually gets to last a little bit. But yeah, Assassin tends not to last very long. It's yeah, it's good for subterfuge and so on, but for some reason, yeah, subterfuge doesn't really get favored. It's like in a group of wizards and fighters, you chose rogue. The campaign did not favor rogue. Sorry. Saber, archer, caster, and berserker. Um, yeah, yeah, saber for sure. Yeah, I would say saber and archer for sure. Yeah, yeah. Can't really disagree there. Although, it should be noted, Astolfo was writer, Gilgamesh was writer, and Medusa was writer in Unlimited Blade Works. So writer has done well and a few times there, depending on who the writer was. I mean, Gilgamesh writer obviously did the best. I think Gilgamesh is like Hercules, where you could summon him as anything. Same as Hercules. Yeah, I'd say Assassin's probably the worst. Um, but let's see. I was trying to think what else was there. I'm really yeah. So all right, characters are really curious. Now Gilgamesh is a known quantity, so I could actually see them giving us an upset and having Gilgamesh get killed off early because we already know him. We're very familiar with Gilgamesh at this point. He has tons of character development. He's an extremely popular character. Yeah, killing him off early would be a major upset. Um, and so I could see, for example, the plague doctor thing, whatever it is. Yeah, maybe that kills Gilgamesh. Maybe that attacks him in a way he can't defend against. Because he's great with like explosions and swords and stuff like that. But that thing's a ghost that exists in somebody's mind. I mean, how's he gonna do against that? We don't know. He's never been attacked like that before, as far as I know. So maybe that will do it. Um, so that I think would be an interesting thing. Um, So Gilgamesh being killed off first, and then give Kaidu. So basically, instead of, because in Fate Grand Order we saw Gilgamesh mourning and Kaidu, flip around, having Kaidu mourning Gilgamesh. Yeah, nice little inversion there. I like that. Giving Kaidu a chance to shine. I think that would be very interesting. So Kaido is a force for nature. Um, I again, Kaido is kind of well known. I would say the servant I am most intrigued by, for sure, is the thing inside the little girl. That thing with the plague doctor mask is really interesting. I'm really like, what is that? That is so creepy, and I love it. And it's got a plague doctor mask again. Love that. So I really want to get to know that. I will say, yeah, I agree. The assassin's the most meh. I'd also actually I would say the fake caster is even more mad than that. I really don't care about fake caster. His personality is very off-putting. Where it's like, I just want white women. Whoa, like, okay, you're just the rehash of the gangster archetype. I don't find you particularly interesting. So I don't find. So fake caster is kind of obnoxious to me. I hope he gets killed off soon. I would put assassin ahead of him for interest. I will say the other caster with the girl with the skull in her hair. I would say is more fascinating than assassin though. Curious what happens there. And well, we don't know enough about the knight that this one just summoned, so I will leave them out of the equation for now. I'm curious, is that a member of the round table or is that some other knight? Don't know. They need to rework assassin, make them act like the mage killer. Well, that's funny thing you say that. So yeah, so um, um, Shiro from Fate Zero and actually ends up being a heroic spirit who actually, yeah, is actually very good at killing mages. Yeah, yeah, that is actually a thing in Fate Grand Order. Is it caster? No. We know the thing inside the little girl is not a caster because we have fake caster, which implies I think the crazy girl working with the cop is true caster. So I'm guessing that it's a caster who summoned another caster, basically. So I'm guessing the girl with the skull in her hair is the actual caster, and so that has to be. I'm guessing that is caster in this case. Um, so I don't know what class the weird dark cloud thing could be. So the ones left since okay, so since Berserker, Saber's out. We know Berserker, caster, and um, assassin. So that leaves Lancer, Rider, and um, Lancer, Rider, and Archer. There you go. So in Kaidu, Gilgamesh, and the Black Cloud, I don't know what works here. Gilgamesh has already been Rider, so I don't think he'd be Rider. Is Kaidu Rider? Maybe. So Gilgamesh has already been Archer and Lancer. So if I had to, or Archer and Rider. So if I had to guess, I would say Gilgamesh is probably Lancer because we haven't had Lancer Gilgamesh before. I know Shiro became Archer. Yeah, yeah. His dad came back as a noble spirit as well in Fate Grand Order. In fact, his dad's noble spirit, I believe, is one of the major enemies of Fate Grand Order in the second arc. I think. I'm not sure. It hasn't been adapted yet. But yeah, he does come back. Um, so if I had to guess, Gilgamesh is probably Lancer because we haven't seen Lancer Gilgamesh. So that would leave Kainu with a cloud as either Archer or Rider. Now, since Kainu was firing the shots at Gilgamesh and able to match him, that's an Archer skill. So I guess Kainu might be Archer. Maybe that I lean towards that, but he could also be Rider because Mother Nature, animals. I mean, he's got a wolf master, so wolf riding. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know which is which. It's either Archer or Rider. I don't know which. Um, Curious to see how that plays out. So all right. Let's see. Oh, so let's see. Anything more, Sage? Because I'm starting to run out of steam on my end on this. I think I've talked this thing to death. Let's see. But yeah, I'm definitely looking for the next episode. I can definitely say that. Um, do you have it? Do you have anything else or any comments? Um, oh, Beastmaster Rider would fit. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was like. And kind of, I mean, I can make an argument either way. Archer because the attack can kind of use, or Rider because Wolf Spirit. Wolf was the one that summoned him slash her, whatever. Um, so yeah. Oh, we should get answers on all the detailed stuff. They will always give these answers. The real name of the true caster is interesting. Who would want to take Ruler and torture her like that, and who is female? Because we know that, and so in Fate Zero, we saw um, Blue Blood, um, no, Bluebeard, not Blue Blood, Bluebeard. So in Fate Zero, we saw Bluebeard, who is based on the Frenchman who was obsessed with Jeanne d'Arc, and they became obsessed with Saber because he thought that Saber was Jeanne d'Arc, and he got Arturian and Jeanne d'Arc mixed up. And then Fate Apocrypha, we saw Jeanne d'Arc reflect on her history with Bluebeard before he went crazy. So that was cool. That was a neat little tie-in there. And so, but now we've got another one here, the true caster, who is also obsessed with Jeanne d'Arc, potentially. So what's going on there? Is she related to Bluebeard somehow? Uh, why are so many people obsessed with Jeanne d'Arc in this? Or is ruler Jeanne d'Arc? That's the other thing too. Jeanne d'Arc's the ruler in Fate Apocrypha. Could have a different ruler class here. Don't know. Um, might have somebody else stepping in as that. I don't know who it would be. So that could be an interesting mix in. And for that matter, how does the Truecaster know what ruler is? So, lots. Yeah, again, another unanswered question. All right. I'm going to call it there. So, hey, if you enjoyed this episode of Byte Club Cinema, make sure to check out my other entries on my Rumble channel. Check out the link below. I've also posted a Mona one on my YouTube. I will probably post this on YouTube as well. Um, and and tie in. And if you're seeing this on YouTube or Rumble, yeah, make sure to check out my Twitch. I have started live streaming. I have begun to live stream. I will be posting up my VOD from Conan Exile on both of those. I'll be posting this one, probably chopped down with like the stream intro and outro removed. So I'm going to, on my end, I'm going to set up a raid. We're going to raid somebody. Oh, here we go. Sage says, I would be surprised if Gil got taken out and turned to a mystery who killed him. Mick try to be proactive to find who done it. We need an outlier other than Gilgamesh. I agree. I agree. So I would say the main one I could see taking out Gilgamesh would be the weird thing inside the little girl, because we don't know what that is. It's really, really weird. So if that thing did it, I I would accept it if that thing killed Gilgamesh. I could believe something like that strange could do it, because it just the outside is like whoa, you know, he just gets hit in a way. It's like, oh, I can stop you. It's like, whoa, what is this? Oh, well, that counter didn't work. Oh, crap, too late. It's like, aha, I figured out how to counter you. Oh, I figured it out like 2 seconds after you got me. Dang. But I agree with you. Yeah, an outlier other than Gilgamesh, like Gilgamesh as a red herring, essentially. Like, oh, you gotta worry about Gilgamesh again. Nope! You gotta worry about the new thing. Mind you, the downside of that is it gives Gilgamesh the Worf effect, which is where you kill off the powerful thing to establish that this other thing is powerful. I don't know if we want to turn Gilgamesh into a jobber, but I don't know. That's a bit of a trope. But in this case, I think it's justified in this case because we've gotten lots of Gilgamesh. I mean, I think Gilgamesh losing would be genuinely surprising and shocking. It would not be a Worf effect at this stage because he does win a lot. I mean, he took out, he dealt the death blow to Tiamat in Fate Grand Order. So he got, yeah, he's had a good time. He's had a good winning streak. It's not too much of a Worf effect there. In this case, it would be genuinely shocking. All right, I'm gonna close it there. We're gonna go raid another channel. I'm gonna wrap this up though. So do stick around for those watching. We're gonna raid somebody. For those at home watching the VOD format, let me know in the comments below what other series you want me to watch. This one's a one-off. I do have a couple plans for ongoing series that I'm going to start doing. Gene of AI is one, for example, that's currently airing that I will probably get to. I'm probably going to maybe try to have a sci-fi focus. I might do a fantasy focus. I don't know. Also, let me know if you want to join me in the discussion. So I've got people in my live chat, for example. Um, I will eventually probably try to get like a Discord thing set up where you can hop on the Discord and we'll watch the thing together. And so that way we can all comment and discuss this thing live on air. I definitely would like to get to that point. If you want to participate in that, let me know. Tell me if you want to join in on this, if that is something that would interest you, if you like the idea of discussing shows and things. Um, yeah, Gilgamesh arrogance got him caught off guard. Yeah, that is one of his biggest mistakes. Yeah, that is exactly why he had lost before. It's when he let his arrogance get the best of him. I agree. Yeah, Record of Ragnarok. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this is Dominic Bytes signing out. When next we meet, may your robot body be fully charged.
Also, hi, Dominic!
Hey, Dominic Bytes. Welcome. Welcome on by.
Hey, yes, welcome to the stream, Dominic Bytes. Hopefully everything works out for you, buddy.
Welcome to stream, Dominic!
Hi, Dominic.
Dominic. Yep. Hi. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, though.
Hello, Dominic. Hello, darling. How you doing, darling?
How's it going, Dominic? Welcome in.
Mwah.
Hi, Dominic. How you doing, cheese pie?
Hi, Dominic.
Hi, Dominic.
Hi, Dominic. Hi, Dominic.
Dominic, hello.
Hello, Dominic Bytes. Hello. Dominic Bytes. Hello.
Dominic, thank you. Can you stop slamming shit?
Hey, Dominic.
Hello, Dominic Bytes. Hello.
Oh my god. Also, thank you for clipping as always, Dom. You are so sweet. I really appreciate you. You are an absolutely wonderful being, as all of you are.